Okay, so what we're doing today is we're doing a drive-through. Scared that poor guy, didn't mean to. I want to do a drive on Highway 70 in Hickory, North Carolina. I'm sort of right in front of the Valley Hills Mall. This is a shopping center. It's got a Guitar Center and a Hamrick's and a Gabe's. Red Lobster's here in the parking lot. There's a Chipotle here. They're putting up an oil change station here on my left. That's what's going in there. There's a tidal wave car wash coming across the street. It's weird because we've got plenty of car washes. You see Arby's. This is Highway 70, Hickory, North Carolina. This is kind of the main part of, I don't know, what would you call this? It's not the main road in Hickory, but it's the commercial road that has probably the most history here in Hickory. It's been here for a good while. Right here on my right is the Valley Hills Mall. I like to think about the fact that we still have a mall as a pretty positive thing in this area. You say a positive thing. Well, malls are dying across the country, and the fact that Hickory still has a great mall, I think, is a pretty positive thing. The Valley Hills Mall is still thriving. The Cookout here on my left is pretty new. We also just got a Whataburger, so I'm getting ready to approach Whataburger. Is going to come up here on my right, and Whataburger was wrapped around the building for weeks. I'm curious to see. It's been less than a month that like I said, there's another car wash on my left. Mattresses are everywhere. Here's a Sleep Number, a mattress firm, and across the street is a mattress factory. But here's the Whataburger, and nope, they're not wrapped around the building. So a month in, and the drive-through is, look at that, there's only 6 cars in the drive-through, so it is coming down. Now we are running parallel to a road called Catawba Valley Boulevard. Catawba Valley Boulevard it kind of became a main road more recently than Highway 70. But here on my right on Highway 70 is Academy Sports. Again, another car wash to my left, a bank. On my right, after the Valley Hills Mall, the Whataburger, the Academy, now you get to the Hickory Furniture Mart. Now from this side of the Hickory Furniture Mart, it looks like a very small, very modest property, but it is not. This is a massive. There's more furniture under one roof in that facility than nearly anywhere else on the planet. There's a battle going back and forth between High Point and Hickory. I think it's Steve Eichert and I can't think of the other guy's name. But anyway, these two guys have battled back and forth to have the most furniture under one roof in the country, and it's hit or miss whether it's Hickory or High Point, but they're always adding a little square footage, trying to win that little battle. We got O'Charlie's here, our oldest, most original Walmart's coming up on my left. Here's the Barnes & Noble. To my right is the Buffalo Wild Wings. And this is kind of Hickory. Now I'm getting ready to approach. It's a few miles down the road, but we're gonna ride for a couple of miles here, and this is the Catawba Valley Community College. Now CVCC. Sorry, I cut myself off, but I'll get back to it. But this is CVCC on my right. This is the big community college, and it is a major facility. Someday I'm going to walk you through some of the newer parts of Catawba Valley Community College and tell you all about that. But it is a major college because this is more parts of CVCC. The reason I say it's a major college is this is the place for NASCAR. If you want to learn about NASCAR, there is a ton that you can learn at the Catawba Valley Community College here in Hickory, North Carolina. What I was getting ready to say is we're approaching down the road here. we're going to approach one of the original NASCAR facilities. Now, Hickory Motor Speedway is no longer a major NASCAR track. In fact, I don't even think you can call it NASCAR anymore. But NASCAR, that whole concept, that idea, it got its start here in Hickory, North Carolina. I wonder if I'm saying that wrong. Did it start in Hickory? Well, it sure feels like it. Furniture is a huge revenue source in Hickory. You see CR Lane here on my left. On my right is Skateland. That place has been there forever. I grew up going to Skateland, and there would be a guy in the middle of the skating rink doing all kinds of tricks and skating backwards and skating on his toes and skating. I mean, everything you could imagine on skates, this guy was doing jumps and spins. Guess who it was? It was Morgan Shepherd. Now, if you don't know that name, then you're not a NASCAR fan, but if you know that name, then you probably know a lot about NASCAR. And here we are. There's Dell Earnhardt Chevrolet billboard, but there's the Hickory Motor Speedway on my right. Looks like it's being heavily advertised by Gateway Automotive now. I don't even see the name Hickory Motor Speedway anywhere. I wonder if they have taken over the naming rights, but there it was. That's the Hickory Motor Speedway. So much stuff happens on Highway 70. If you're thinking about Hickory, North Carolina, Highway 70 is kind of part of it. There's a Tractor Supply to my right. We're approaching another road called Fairgrove Church Road. Now, I don't know what the church is or what the church road part of this term is, but that's the road to my left. It's Fairgrove Church Road. Over here on the right is, I think this is, it's a retirement or it's for senior adults. This organization comes out, they bring senior adults here for this event, for this space. They drive around in a van, pick senior adults up for like kind of a daycare kind of thing. But there used to be a gym in there, and you could be a member of that gym. And I was in that gym on some kind of elliptical machine one day, and I had been working out, doing my elliptical work, and I was talking to this guy that was on the elliptical next to me. And we talked and we chatted about his kids and his life and his family and my kids and my life and my family. It's a program of alternative inclusion care for the elderly. There it is on the right. But it used to be owned by a former NASCAR driver. Anyway, me and this guy are just talking and talking and talking. We go back to the locker room, and we kind of stopped our workout at the same time. And he goes to this fancy locker that was obviously, special. It was a special locker. And I didn't realize who the guy was. But before I left that day, I said, well, my name's Josh. It was nice talking to you today. And he said, well, I'm Dell. And I didn't know that it was Dell Jarrett that I had been talking to for the previous 30 minutes or so. But anyway, this is Highway 70, and I have told you 2 NASCAR names, and it didn't even dawn on me as I was driving down Highway 70 that would be what would come to my mind. Now, this is the Hickory Fairgrounds that we're approaching on my right. And I kind of feel like as we get to the Hickory Fairgrounds, I guess I will, this is Thursday. So sometimes on Thursdays, they have a big, what used to be called the stock sale. Now, Lowe's Hardware was back on my left beside of Walmart. But years ago, as I was a kid growing up, the stock sale happened there in that property where Lowe's Hardware and Walmart are today. And that stock sale, they literally sold stock. You could go there and buy cattle. And that concept of a stock sale moved to the Hickory Fairgrounds when the Walmart and the Lowe's were built. And it happens, this is a Thursday, and so it always happens on Thursdays. And now they don't sell stock anymore. I don't think you can come here and buy a cow. But this is the Hickory Fairgrounds, and there's all this space where they set up, fireworks in the you know, maybe at 4th of July there's fireworks and there's the stock sale every week and the American Legion meets here. And of course that's basically like a flea market on Thursday mornings that happens here in what used to be known as the stock sale. Now in the recent years, the only time I've come out here has been if I wanted to come out and buy fruits or vegetables one Thursday morning. And so basically you have now seen Highway 70 kind of from the center of Hickory and towards the Conover direction, because if I were to turn right, I'm looking at my hands to say, am I right? Yeah, if you were to turn right out of the fairground parking lot here, you're basically in Conover. This is kind of the end of Hickory on this Highway 70, and so I'm going to make my turn back to the left, and I'm going to end this video. This is one half of the Highway 70 in Hickory, North Carolina 360 tour.